Hey everyone, what's up? It's Noah from REI USA. Happy Thursday. Hope you're being profitable, making offers, hitting your goals. We're excited for this session. This South Carolina super group, famously hot super group. We have a very special guest that's coming on for this webinar. He's a good friend of mine, and he's the co-founder of a company called Conscious Communication. And you know what's crazy is the more people that I talk to, and I'm coaching them, ask them, hey, where do you need help? Where do you feel like you're doing really well? Where do you feel like some of your struggles are? And lots of times it comes down to the communication side of the business. You know, nowadays, so many people text message, so many people will message on Facebook or through email, but to actually have like a conversation with a seller, you know, people can get nervous, right? And I still get nervous talking to sellers if I have to meet someone face to face. Like that's the nature of the business. So what I'll say is, you know, this is something that is so valuable because 9 times out of 10, if we're talking to a seller who inherited a property, or maybe they're a retired landlord and they've owned a home for 30 or 40 years or whatever the case may be, you know, they're not necessarily comfortable text messaging. They might not necessarily be on Facebook Messenger, right? They're going to sell to the person that they build rapport with, the person that they feel like they have a connection with, and the person that just talked to them face to face, right? And spent some time at the kitchen table. So Christy and I thought that it would be awesome if we brought on Jamie Miller, who is a communications coach when it comes to sales, negotiations, and really just helping people get what they want. I can't think of anyone better to bring on to share with the REI USA community than Jamie Miller. So without further ado, I'm going to make him a co-host and add him to the chat here. Let's see. Here we go. Jamie, are you there?
I am. I'm here. Can you hear me?
And yeah, let me get you on video there. There we go.
All right.
How you doing, mate?
Oh, I'm fantastic, mate. Appreciate being on board here this evening.
So, all right. So first things first, man. So like, so does someone have to have like this gorgeous English accent and like rock solid abs in order to be an effective communicator, or is there hope for someone like me? What do you think?
Absolutely, Noah. Like everyone, like if you're not able to sound British, I've been putting on this accent now for 20 odd years here, and it really helps me.
Oh, it's a sham.
No, you do not. Thankfully, you do not have to have a British accent in order to use any of the communication skills. And yeah, no, the abs part, I don't believe is a part of it.
Okay, good. All right. So yeah, all right, awesome, man. So tell us a little bit about, like, you started this company called Conscious Communication. Like, what does conscious communication mean? What does that look like? Even how would you describe that to someone?
Okay, so conscious communication, the best way I could describe it is we say certain things, all right? So we'll speak out certain things. When you're in front as an investor, you'll be in front, just like you're sharing you can get uncomfortable, and you've been doing it for years, all right? So people will feel what you're saying. They'll feel a certain way, and whatever you consciously are thinking is likely what's going to happen, all right? And so conscious communication isn't just what are we saying, it's why are we saying something? And the idea is to be very outcome focused. You were sharing about people not being comfortable in text message or getting face to face. And it did definitely brought up a lesson that I would like to believe I'll teach this group, and they'll have an understanding of where they can elevate their chances of actually getting the business they're looking to get, just by being more aware about what they're saying when they're emailing someone, what they're saying when they're phoning someone, to actually get the response they're looking for. We need to be outcome focused. So all I do with conscious communication is teach mainly 3 things that seem to elevate people's success. It's 1, gather information. The more information you gather, the more likely you're bringing a client, which means we have to do a lot of listening and asking good questions.
Gather information from your seller. If you're an investor, or from your buyers, find out what they want. Got it. Okay. What's number 2?
The second thing is garner understanding, all right, from the seller. So in your case, so the more that they feel like they would be doing the same thing if they were you, the more likely they'll buy from you. So putting that seller in your shoes is a conscious communication play. And I can talk about that a bit more tonight. And the third thing I find is create predictable outcomes.
Create predictable outcomes.
If I know I'm going to say something and it's always going to get the same response, when you were talking about, do you have to have 6-pack abs and do you have to have a British accent to do this? You know that I'm going to be laughing, and people are more likely to be laughing at that. It's saying something to create a predictable outcome. It's like people are saying, if any of the investors who are listening into this say these words to someone, which they may be, it's also understanding what we say and what they hear are two different things. So if I say to you, Noah, I'm not here to sell you anything. The words are, I'm not here to sell you anything. What are you actually hearing?
Oh, I can't wait to hear what this guy is going to sell me right now. Right?
Yeah. So those are the kind of, even if an investor is like, I don't consider myself a salesperson, the person they're saying those words to is hearing, you're about to sell me.
Right.
So it's a case of, really understanding what we say and how it comes across. And I can prove time and time again, different scenarios where I'll say something and people aren't truly listening. Because if they were truly, and so if we can become the best listeners possible, which is part of that gathering information, we're going to elevate our chances of getting what we want.
And predictable outcomes. And you did this like card thing on me once, and it blew my mind. And I'm gonna have you do it for this group here as well. I think it proves the point of walking someone down a predictable, in understanding what the answer is going to be every time we ask a question. And say, and hey Deborah, hey Sabrina, welcome to the webinar, and everybody else, welcome to the webinar. We're here with Jamie Miller, co-founder of Conscious Communication Negotiation, sales trainer and coach. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to put it in the chat box. I'll be sure to get those over to Jamie as well. So you might be wondering, where the heck is Christy? Christy, hey, Christy is, she's getting some ink. She's getting a tattoo right now. And, how do you stop a financially free, independent woman from going with one of her girlfriends? It's taken a little longer. Hopefully she was back by now. She'll probably sneak in here. But in Christy's place, I have family in town. So instead of doing the card example with me, would you mind if I brought my sister on and you could ask her? Because it just goes to show anyone will, no matter who you're asking the questions to, the answer is going to be the same if you know how to ask them.
Noah, I'm happy.
All right, let's do it. All right, so let's welcome to the big show. This is my sister Madeline. Come on over, Maddie. She's excited. Young entrepreneur here. She's studying entrepreneurship at Florida Gulf Coast University. So she's excited. She's listening. She's watched webinars that you and I have done in the past. So you ready, Maddie?
I'm ready.
All right, cool.
Never watched. So, Matt, have you ever had your mind read before, Maddie?
I have not.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. Do you know what a pack of cards looks like?
Yes.
Okay. So imagine a pack of playing cards. Okay. Now you and I are going to play a game against each other. So, all right, you're going to open up the deck. We're going to remove the jokers. All right. Okay. Now we've got to go really, really fast here, Maddie. You've got to answer these questions really quick without jumping ahead, but just go lightning quick. Don't even hesitate. Just answer so I can hear you. All right. Going really fast. So you open up the deck, take out jokers really fast without jumping ahead. You got two colors. You got black, you got red. Pick one real quick.
Red.
Even quicker. Of the red, you got hearts, you got diamonds. Pick one real quick.
Diamonds.
Of the diamonds, you got numbers, you got face.
Face.
Of the face, you got the jack, the queen, the king.
King.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay.
What?
What?
That's the only part.
Wait a minute.
So Noah's seen me do this on the promotion for the fly. Even put the king of diamonds, I think, behind me. The idea is this, all right, for anyone who's watching, all right, or anyone sees the recording of this. When you go into an interaction, you're going to go and meet for an investor, for instance, you're going to go and meet someone. You've got to think about the outcome that you want before you go there. And then and the idea is to ask the very best questions all right, in order to achieve the outcome that you're looking for. What do I mean by that? You'll stay away from questions such as, how are you? All right, and things that don't lead you in the direction that you're looking to go. It's not it's not a trick. You just visualize what you're looking as the end goal. For instance, if you're cold calling someone and you're phoning them up and you start with your name and your company name, all right, I'm so and so with so and so. Think to yourselves, for those who are listening in, what do you do when someone calls you up cold and says, hi, this is so and so with so and so? What's the initial reaction you have to that? And most people want to
hang up or just ignore them, or
so there's more conscious plays that you can do when you're calling up someone to actually get them engaged. And then the next part, which actually makes sense to teach, is based on what you were saying at the beginning. People getting comfortable with email, phone, face-to-face. There's something I teach, and the idea is this. Noah, I know you're going to love this, because I know you and I both talk about the words I and want and how amateur it is.
Sure.
Use those words. If you guys are emailing someone, the only
Thank you,
Maddie. Only thing that an email should sell is a phone call or a face-to-face meeting. The only thing a phone call should sell is a face-to-face meeting. So if I'm emailing, I'm not telling everyone everything and making it a long email. All right. I'm not looking to go back and forth, email to email. The only thing I'm going to sell in the email is the phone call. All right. The only thing in the phone call is the meeting. So let me elaborate. So rather than, and staying away from these words, anything that seems generalized, where it's just that you can change out the name Noah for the name Christy, for the name Bob, for the name Sarah, that is generalized. Okay. Stay away.
Sorry, I was sending a message to the group.
Oh, okay. So the idea is if you're going to send a message, the more customizable you can make it, the better for you. First off, you want to keep it short. No one likes long emails. And you want to make sure there's a very clear question. And rather than saying, I would like the opportunity to meet with you, or I just wanted to reach out to you, you would do a question such as, hey, let's say I could actually take this property off your hands in a fashion that you appreciated. Would that at the very least be worth a brief meeting? All right. And that's a clear question. And actually using the words at least too. So you tweak it rather than what you want, I would like. It's, let's say I can do this. Would you see at least a benefit in a meeting? Question mark. Cheers, Noah, or whatever the name of the investor is. You look like you want to expand on that. So go ahead.
My gosh, you hit so think about this, guys. How many advertisements on Facebook do you see where the person starts out their sales pitch with, I want to do this. I want to show you. I want to da 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 da. And subconsciously we start thinking, right, Jamie? Like, yeah, why do you want that? Is that necessarily what? That's not necessarily what I want.
None of the focus is on that. I said one of the key things with conscious communication is put someone in your shoes. Watch this. All right. So if I said, I want to come on here and blow everyone away and make this the most amazing interview on the planet. All right. So they don't care what I want. Watch this. I put them in my shoes just with 4 words. If you were me. Hey, everyone who's watching this right now, if you were me and you were being interviewed by Noah right now, would you want to leave everyone feeling like this was a worthwhile workshop? All right. And you'd want to leave everyone blown away by the stuff you're going to teach. And everyone would be like, yeah, I would want to do that. Great. Then you're going to appreciate where I'm coming from.
Right. Just flip.
It's just with the words, if you were me.
If you were me. If you were me. And how many times do we see like advertisements just with real estate too, guys? So if you're doing bandit signs or it's your direct mail and your advertisement is, I want to buy your house. Think about what that person's, consciously thinking when they get that postcard. Oh, why do you want to buy my house? So you can make a bunch of money off of it. Right. So what type of messaging do you think might be beneficial for us as investors to, instead of saying, hey, I want to buy your house, are you a tired landlord, or, what would you recommend?
There's better question. I think the thing is to get in front of someone. I always use a question as a one-off question, Noah, to find out what. I never go in with an assumption as to what someone should value or the reasons why they should do something. I'm actually going to go in, and I know you've always appreciated this because this is a question that got someone to drive 2 hours to see me in South Carolina. It works in every instance.
Sure.
If I'm selling my services, or it's not what I think, I want to find out what you value first. So hey, before I share anything today about your home and all the things, amazing things I actually think I can do for you, what benefits would you come up with for you to sell your home today to me before I even share anything? And then I'm going to let them start sharing with me certain benefits. Right, from that standpoint, if I was selling my communication on this platform right now to people, I'd just say, hey, before I share anything else around communication, what benefits would you guys come up with for being better in the area of communication? And then people start sharing, I'll get more sales. I'm like, oh, great, interesting. Then all I have to do is illustrate where I know something they don't. So they're like, oh, this guy must know something.
Sure.
All right.
Same thing with real estate.
Yeah. If I'm an investor in a property, I'm going to turn around and before I share anything around what I know I can do for you, what benefits would you come up with? Do you know what I mean? Like for getting out of this house, and then find out what they can share. If they say, I don't have any, then I'm going to go what I call a little bit fishing with questions, like what the ones that you were talking about. Hey, like, look, some of my sellers have gone through this. Is that something that resonates for you? Yes. Terrific. Tell me more about that. And remember, gathering information. It's more about the gathering of information from them. All right. And you want them doing all the talking.
Yeah.
I don't.
Some of my sellers have been tired landlords who, have properties just like this. Like, why would you benefit from working with someone like us too, or whatever, right?
Do you look? You could throw that out to seed. Yes. Like, hey, like some of my clients. Let's say they're calling for sale by owners. There's realtors maybe on here, and they're calling for sale by owner. It's not, let me tell you everything I can do for you. It's like, hey, look, all right, some of my for sale by owners have found that they're able to have people showing their homes and they're not missing out on appointments because they're at work. If I was to ask you real quick, would there be any benefits in you having someone being able to show your home whilst you're at work from that standpoint? Yes. Okay. Is it worth a brief meeting? It would at least be worth a brief meeting. Yes. Yeah. Then I'm elevating it to the meeting from that standpoint. Again, it's question based. That the issue with lots of industries now is that people go in with an assumption as to what someone should value based on what they think they bring to the table.
Yes.
All right. And that's the amateur approach. I could share with conscious communication. I teach people how to public speak, NLP, and all these different things. If it doesn't matter to someone, it's in one ear and out the other. Or they'll turn around and say, worse, what if I don't value that? Can I get it for less money? Do you know what I mean? So the idea is stop oversharing. All right. People don't care about every achievement you've ever had in life, so they care about what they want more. And that goes back to the eradicate of I want. Oh, I just want to help everyone. I love helping people. The word I, remove it, tweak it and make it a question about them.
Got it. Such good advice. Now, so are there any questions that like us as investors should absolutely stay away from? Or, there's obviously if there's good questions, there must be bad questions too, right?
Right. Okay. So 2 that come to my mind. First off, when I say stay away from how are you, it doesn't mean that we don't care. We care deeply. We're going to ask so many questions from a genuine place of care that we're going to care deeply. If someone asks me, how are you? I'm going to be like, well, since you asked, let me tell you about my whole day. And they end up hanging up on me because they really didn't care that much.
Sure.
All right. Okay. So look, I can ask you, how are you, Noah? I'm not selling you. You're a friend. All right. There's nothing to be sold. If you're calling up someone cold prospective, they don't know you're a genuine person. So when you ask, how are you? It doesn't get you any closer to the goalpost. All right. The other question I would stay away from is this. if the seller says, I think my house is worth X, one of the worst questions that an investor could ask them is, why do you think that? All right. Or how did you come up with that price? All right. Because truth is, as the investor, you're more likely to be the expert. Every time you've gone to a property, Noah, have you done your homework on the property and you know exactly what you're prepared to pay for it, right? Like you already know, like
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So you've got this price. Then you go along there and the seller's like, Noah, I think my house is worth X. And then you say, well, how did you come up with that price? You've now given someone who doesn't know what you know, or as much as you know, the ability to justify a price point. And then you have no choice yet to listen to them go off on a tangent, which means you then have to be in argument, all right, about it. All right. So stay away from a question asking someone. It'd be like you with Cruz or your kids. They do something naughty and you say, why did you do that? What were you thinking? Terrible questions, because you don't know the answers to what they were thinking and why they did something. Your better question be like, hey, why shouldn't you have done that? And now you watch their eyes go in their head and they're going to start showing you an understanding as to why they shouldn't have done it. You're like, great, I agree with you.
Yeah, because 9 times out of, if and just like we've done our research, even though we're the experts and we've got realtors pulling comps and all this stuff, we ask if you ask the seller, hey, how much do you think your home is worth? And I remember I was training with you one time and we actually talked about this and I was like, oh my God, like that's actually on this sheet of questions that I have. And I'm setting myself up for failure because they're like, well, it's worth this. And then it was like, all of a sudden I lost rapport because now how do I now come in and be the bearer of bad news,
And you asked the question. Look, I don't know if your audience has ever learned this. We've learned this. I know we've learned this. I teach this. Whoever asks the questions leads a conversation. All right. I don't know if all the viewers have ever learned that skill set. And that is also important. Hey, Noah, if I came up to you and let's prove a point here, Noah, because you've been around the block. All right. I come up to you, Noah, and I say, we're networking. We're at a networking event. All right. Yeah. You've been a class act. You've asked me what I do for a living. So you've already found out. And then I turn around to you and I see your name badge. Hey, Noah, what do you do? What do you do for what do you do? All right. What would your initial response be in that moment? Just like everyone else, typically.
I would say I'm in real estate.
I'm in real estate. Terrific. So watch this, everyone. Noah has learned in his life, I know for a fact, he's learned the unbreakable formula. Whoever asks the questions wins the conversation. Someone's come up to him at an event and says, what do you do? And he immediately makes a statement. All right. I'm in real estate.
I'm in real estate.
If someone's a realtor, I'm a realtor. If someone wants to be clever, they're like, I find people their dream homes, whatever it might be. Here's the statement, though. It's an I statement. I do this. Okay. You don't know if they actually value you as a result of that. Watch how I tweak it. What do you say, Jamie? What do you do?
Jamie, what do you do for a living?
Oh, I tell you what, it's so interesting when someone asks me that question. My clients have shared that I'm involved in the most important things that they could ever do. Would you say communication's important, Noah?
Yeah, I would.
Well, out of curiosity, why would you say so?
Because in business, your ability to communicate is valuable. Like, it's a lost art.
Lost art. You know the irony, I haven't even shared what I do yet. Yeah, let's say I help in that area and I can teach things around the lost art that you don't know. Yeah. Would that at the very least be worth having a coffee in the next week on me?
Can we do it tomorrow?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But my point is this. All right. Conscious communication, outcome driven, king of diamonds. Watch this. Someone says to you, what do you do? The only thing you want to sell is a meeting. If you start making statements, I'm a real estate investor. I invest in these kind of properties, da, 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 da. And why would I want to meet with you? All right. There's no engagement. All right. So the idea is make it engaging by asking questions.
This is so good. I'm like, when's the recording coming out? I can't wait to rewind this, and watch it and do it over and over again. But yeah.
Look, watch this. Hey, if I'm an investor and someone comes up to me in networking, that's my sole outcome. All right. What do you do? Oh, you could still say that, oh, it's interesting you asked me that. They're going to smile. a predictable outcome. All right, they're going to smile at that. Be like, the people that I've helped out tell me that I help them out in the most stickiest situations on the planet. Would
Yeah.
you say there's some really ugly situations like divorce, foreclosure, things of that nature? Would you agree that happens a lot out there?
Sure.
Okay. Let's say there was an individual that actually helped people out of that. Would that be a good person to have in your back pocket as a resource?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Hey,
Boom. Because then you just became a resource to me.
okay. Hey, if you and me, Noah, and you're at an event like this, would you be curious to know if you knew anyone who might be facing any financial strife at this moment? Okay.
Yeah.
What do I do? If you were me, in a networking event, would you want to know if you knew anyone? Yes. All right. It's not rocket science stuff, but it's more engaging and it's just putting them in your shoes.
You know what I love? I just love learning this stuff and practicing this stuff with you. I could do this. Hey, what's a great question to ask our webinar attendees if they're having a good time and they're enjoying themselves? Because we don't really want, we don't care, right? Or, we want to make it about them, right? So how would you type a great question to our group and say, hey, you guys enjoying yourselves? What do you think?
Okay, so I set it up, kind of cheesily. I use the boom methodology, and here's
Boom. Okay.
here's what I would say to the people if they're watching. All right, like it again. If you guys, it's not I want booms. That would be amateur. It's like, look, if you guys were me and you're giving this workshop, would you want to make sure you definitely knew that you helped everyone? And they're going to be saying yes. Okay. The only way that I know if I help someone is when I share something that you don't know, just type the word boom or say the word boom. All right. And that way, can you see, all right, that way I know that what I'm sharing is hitting home for you. And then all I do get through my presentation is booms. All right.
Booms.
And here's the deal. And then I say, and then I can seed it. Hey, I don't like fishing for the booms. Or if I show a slide coming up, hey, usually this gets a boom. And then I'll share the play and then people will start saying boom because I planted the seed.
You've already taken, that if they like it, their mind is going to say to give you a boom.
It's again, here's a good one for people that came to my mind. If someone says, I need to speak to somebody else before I make a decision.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, get that a lot. We get that a lot with the wife will call or the husband and they, right.
Okay, so here's a comfortable play. If someone says, I need to talk to my wife, all right, husband, terrific. If you just ask them, what kind of time frame are you thinking as a response? That's very open. You might get someone say 4 weeks and you're like scratching your head, like, what kind of marriage do you have? Like, it's going to take 4 weeks, right? So you plant a seed like this. Hey, perfect. You know what? Most of my spouses, they'll talk tonight and I'll hear from them usually by tomorrow. What kind of time frame? And they're more likely to say, yeah, no, tomorrow will be good. And then you can elevate it. Hey, for whatever reason, I don't hear from you tomorrow. Is it okay if I follow up you the very next day? Yes. And then they're more likely to be apologetic to you as a result of not following through on what they told you.
Yeah.
But you're just planting a seed. Right? Yeah, great. That happens all the time. Typically, they'll talk tonight and I hear from them tomorrow. And you're just throwing that out there to them when you ask what kind of time frame. Yeah, no, tomorrow should be good.
That's awesome, man.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And you gave me some good advice too, because talking to a lot of the folks with REI USA, there's different types of investors, people brand new looking for their first deal, seasoned investors, so on and so forth. For someone who is brand new and is looking to establish rapport or credibility with a seller, and they don't have a whole lot of experience, and they just want that one shot, for someone to believe in them. I remember you had some fantastic wording, and you used a real estate agent as the example. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
if you were me, or
what you do is you build a gap. Like rapport is the foundation of any successful interaction. It's the foundation. The first thing, you and I have built rapport. We've known each other for years. I've known Christy for longer. Like there's a lot of rapport that's been built up over years. But let's say I wanted to build rapport instantly with someone I've never met. And you don't have to use word for word, but you use the you like me play. All right. So you like, hey, are you like me? All right. Do you value time? Everyone's going to say yes to that. Are you like me? Do you value honesty? No one's ever going to say, no, I like to be lied to. All right. So the whole idea is people want to buy from people they feel the same as. So if I'm a rookie investor, I'm going into a house where I'm going to some old boy, all right,
The good old boy.
yeah, I'm going to find a way to praise them, all right, from this standpoint. And I'm going to see if this resonates with them. Hey, have you ever had a situation in your life whereby, you know what, you ran something by someone as an opportunity that you knew in your heart was a really serious opportunity, and for whatever reason, that person, you know, didn't take you seriously and they should have. Did that ever happen for you?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then you say, well, then you're really going to appreciate me. All right. I'm, you know, and you can be yourself in that scenario. It's like the thing we talked about before was more the rookie financial advisor or realtor. You go to a mansion, you want to list a mansion that you've never listed anything. You want to bridge the gap. There, some successful. You go to, do you know what? This is amazing home. Well done. You've achieved so much success in life. I love it. I could only aspire, as I point to my crap heap of a car, to have what you've got here. Let me ask you a question. On this journey to achieve all this success that you've had, did you ever encounter people that you felt like they should have taken you more seriously? Yes. Okay, great. Then you're going to appreciate where I'm coming from. And then the idea is the guy's going to be, or the woman's going to be like, you know what, kid? You remind me of me when I
Yep.
was that age. And that's the point, Noah, to be more clear in the scenario.
That's totally true. You know, in last month, Christy and I talked about like creative financing strategies, and you know, so many of the sellers who are open to seller financing strategies are older. They've had their homes for a long time. They built their portfolio in the early '80s when interest rates were like high teens. You know, so they understood creative financing. So as they were starting their careers, someone was giving them a shot, because a lot of how they finance their properties was through seller financing. And then here comes the next generation where they're like, hey, you know what? You know, I don't know if anyone's ever cut you a break or helped you out or done something creative with you before to help you acquire all these properties that you have in your portfolio. But gosh, you know, it'd be nice to catch a break like that too, if that was the case or whatever, you know, and they relate to us because someone gave them a shot one time.
That's the garnering. Remember, I said it's gathering information, garnering understanding.
Yeah.
If you turn around to someone and like, if for the realtors, for instance, hey, if you're me and you're a realtor and you're in a home, would you want to make someone feel very comfortable, very fast to list your home? All right, they're going to say yes. Great. What would you need to hear from me today to feel that sense of comfort? All right. You're there to sell them. They don't want to be sold, but if they feel that they would do the same thing if they were you, all of a sudden they're comfortable with you on that front.
Love it.
I used to get into gyms. So when I used to travel, it reminds me, all right, I used to get into gyms for free around the country doing this play. It's called the Has This Ever Happened For You play. All right. And all it is, so I'd walk up to, because LA Fitness wasn't everywhere we went, Noah. So I'd have to go to a gym. I couldn't work out in a hotel gym. So I'd go to a gym I didn't belong to. All right. And they wanted to charge $10 to $15, $25, whatever it was. And I wanted to get out of paying it if I could. So here's what I would do. I'd go up to the person right in front of this. I'm like, hey, just real quick, has this ever happened for you? You ever gone traveling and you go into a gym you've not been to before, and the person behind the front desk is just, oh, they're the nicest person on the planet. And you tell them you're there for a couple of days and they say, you know what, go ahead. Isn't that the greatest thing in the world when that happens? And the person right in front of you, yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm like, oh, you're really going to appreciate me then. I'm Jason, visiting from Florida. And they start laughing. It's predictable outcome. They're like, dude, how long are you in town for? I'm like, 2 days. They're like, go ahead.
Yeah.
What you're doing is telling a mini story for that person, just like you were doing for a couple. Hey, did this ever happen for you in your life? Did you ever go into a place and ever get given a shot just with anything creative from that scenario? Did that ever happen for you? Yes, it did. Oh, great. Then you're going to appreciate where Christy and I are coming from.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Oh man, so good. I can't wait. Stacy, when's the recording coming out? Hurry, get this thing edited. We gotta rewind everything. I'm just typing booms in
Has
here.
this ever happened?
Yeah.
All right. What, you know, I actually brought on a client from DR Horton with this, and you guys can use this play in business. Ask someone if they run a business, hey, did you ever have this happen? Like, what I'm talking like lay down, like everything you said was just gospel to this person. Like anything that came out of your mouth was just golden. They just loved everything. And within a quick space of time, they just felt comfortable moving forward with you. Like, did that ever happen? Like, it's amazing when that happened. Yeah. Then you're going to appreciate what I'm looking to achieve here with you in the next 10 minutes. And it's a play I've used, and it's soft. Usually they're chuckling. Usually they're like, oh, that's free. Like, but you're making it about, notice the psychology, you're making it about them first.
Yeah.
Not you. It's not has this happened for you? Yes. All right. And that's so.
And you're also in my mind, when you said 10 minutes, where did my mind go? It went to, okay, I'm making a quick decision here. This isn't going to be something that's going to take 3 days, or I'm going to call him back in a week. In my mind, I'm like, all right, in 10 minutes, I'm going to be sold, or I'm going to say yes. I'm going to be excited about it.
Just to be, I'm sure, I know that you like me, you like transparency, so I'm going to be very transparent here. Let's say someone calls me as a result of this. All right. The only statement I make is an urgency statement. All right. Usually it's always questions. The only statement I make in conscious communication is this: when someone listens to me give a presentation from A to B, and then they text me and I call them. All right. I say to them, hey, listen, just so you know, these calls, especially if someone's watching it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they typically feel comfortable moving forward with my guidance. And that's the start of my call. Hey, just out of curiosity, what did you love most about what I just shared? And I go to a what question? Oh, I loved it when you did this. Oh, really? All right. And then then I go to the powerful word on the planet. And this is a great word: believe. I don't know if I've ever, all right. The most powerful word on the planet in sales is believe. If you ask someone, do you believe that I can help you with regards to X? And they give you an emphatic yes, it's very difficult for them to say no after the fact to work with you. And it makes asking for the business less monumental. Oh, another great, did I ever tell you about the word yet?
Yet. No,
Yeah.
not yet.
Not yet. Okay. Maybe typically people love this lesson. I call yet the sweetest little word on the planet, Noah. Hopefully Stacy, when she edits this, she likes this one. All right. The word.
Okay.
Yet.
She's good. She's a good saleswoman. You'd really like her. I think you maybe have met, I don't know, but.
Okay. I use the word yet consciously in every play. And here it is. There's three good things about the word yet. The least important one is this: whenever you have an argument with someone, no one ever likes it when the word but is going to be said. All right. So first up, no one's offended by the word yet. Yeah. Okay. So substitute the word but for the word yet is the least important reason behind the word yet. The second thing, this will eliminate 15 to 20 minutes of your sales presentation time with a prospective client and make it easy for us for the business. Here's what you say halfway through your presentation to someone: have you heard everything that you need to hear from me yet? All right, to feel confident to move forward with this process. As an investor, hey, have you heard everything you need to hear from me yet? As an investor, to feel confident to move forward with this. The seller might actually surprise you and say, yes, terrific, great. The next step is very simple. It's just a little bit of paperwork. If they say no, they haven't, you can still continue dialogue and say, perfect. What would you need to hear to feel that sense of confidence to move forward? And now they keep the conversation going just based on the word yet. The third reason the word yet is powerful, and a lot of people like this, is because conscious communication is also about self-talk, how we talk to ourselves. If you've got rookie investors on here, all right, who are really looking to aim for the stars, we're in June of 2021. They had New Year's resolutions. If they turn around and say, I haven't hit my goals for 2021, that's very negative. They're going to be down in the dumps. Just add the word yet on the end, and they should be able to see their psyche change. I haven't hit my goals for 2021 yet. You know what? I've still got more to go.
Boom. Love it, man.
All right. So there's three. And that's just based around one simple word. That word yet has cut off so much time for a lot of my clients just using that word, that just tweak.
Real quick, I'm going to ask everybody that's listening in, all the attendees, guys, is there any like scenario or circumstance that you might have found yourself in? You're talking to a buyer, seller, wholesaler, maybe a private money lender, and you like Jamie's insight maybe or the better questions to ask or how to approach anything. If you have any questions at all or a scenario that you want to just throw out, type it in the text box or in the chat box and we'll answer them for you for sure.
I'd love to do. Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. I know this is really great with private money lending too. Like I love building relationships with private money lenders, and Christy's all about like she kind of manages our crew and gets the most out of them. Okay, I got a question here. What do you say when someone says, "Why do you want to help me?" Why do you want to help me? And that's Deborah. Deborah's asking, "Hey, why do you want to help me?" Now, I guess this is if Deborah's this if you're buying a house from someone, they're calling off your marketing. Yep.
Yes. Okay. Why do you want to help me? Well, look, I would pose it as a question back to be like, look, would you say it's a good thing to have people out there that like to do things that are good natured by other people? All right. And the idea is to say yes. All right. I just and then when they say yes, I just happen to be someone where I like the notion of leaving this planet in a better place than what I left it.
Yeah. Or how I like to leave houses in neighborhoods in better.
Well, I like to, look, there's obviously usually you're helping people out very sticky situations, so, but the idea is I would pose a question back. It's like, if someone asks me, do you provide this service? I'm always going to say, would that be something that you would really value? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'd elevate the emotion of it. Like, if they said, why do you want to help me? I would phrase, do you think it's a good thing for people to exist that want to help people? The idea is for them to just say, yes, terrific. Then you'll appreciate, I just happen to be someone where I found I've helped a lot of people out of very sticky situations, and from that, like, can you see, then it's to them, can you see where that actually would at least be worth entertaining my idea? All right, Deborah's just said boom, so hopefully, yeah, great. I'll take that as a nice response there for you, Deborah.
Cool. Good, yeah.
One thing that led to, actually, not every objection, 9 times out of 10, an objection you're being told is actually really not that important. If someone asks you, do you do X? All right, is that really, and you even use tonality and facial expression, is that something that's really important to you? Right, they're most likely going to say 9 times out of 10, no, not really. It just reminds me of new home sales, my clients from DR Horton. Someone will come in, do the kitchen drawers come slow closing? All right, they used to say no when they used to feel very negative. Now
no.
they say,
right, yeah.
Now they say, is that something that's really important? And then the buyer will think about it. No, not really. And if they did say it was important, do you know what? I've got someone, when they think it's important like that, I actually have a contact that when people, as they're filling out the contract, I'll hand you a contact that can actually make that happen very inexpensively for you. Would you like that contact details? So it's like you have an answer for them based on something if it is important to them.
Sure.
If you get the New Yorker in front of you, the aggressive person.
Hey, what's wrong with New Yorkers? Just because this is the South Carolina super group? No, I'm just playing.
No, you know that technically, like, I'm stereotyping, but let's say you've got the aggressive person,
sure,
and they bring up an objection, and you say, "Is that important?" I wouldn't have brought it up if it wasn't important. Great, I got you. Do you know what? Like, have you ever had a situation? Have you ever had a situation where someone has brought something to you, ask you a question, you answer them, and they're like, "Yeah, no, it really wasn't that important after all that." Has that ever happened for you? They're going to be like, "Yeah, great." So I'll absolutely answer your question. Just curious, before I answer, why is it important to you? And now I'm still controlling the conversation to find out why it matters. So at least I'm going to give the right information to that person.
Because they want the right information. They want, they're very just being direct, which is nothing wrong with that, right? So let's find out what they want us to be direct about, right? And
okay, so let's say you ever want to tell someone something or educate someone on something. The golden rule I use is get permission first. Someone says, okay, perfect. If anyone's wondering, Jamie, what do you say if someone says, I think my home is worth X? All right. This is what I would say. Someone says, my home is worth X. I get it. Totally get it. I can see at this moment in time where you could be thinking that way. There's something about your home I have not had a chance to share with you yet. Is it okay if I share something with you?
Yes.
Yes. And then I'm going to educate them on why their home is worth what I think it's worth. And then I'm going to finish with a set question at the end. Now that I've just shared all that, can you see where this actual number makes a lot more sense? What I'm not asking them is listening to them go off on a tangent, because I've asked them, how did you come up with that price?
Right.
You take on anyone ever, do you know what? Christy could say something to you, Noah, that you don't agree with. Don't ever want to say you agree with them, disagree with them, or use the word but. You just say, you know what, Christy, honey, I get it. I can see why at this moment in time you could be thinking that way. There is something around this I've not had a chance to share with you yet.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I share? And that's the permission-based set. And then you explain your logic, and then you finish up. Now that I've just shared all that, can you see where it makes sense?
Yes. Yeah. I haven't done the dishes yet. Man, this has been so valuable. Any other gems, any other situations, questions, guys? When it comes to contractors, private money lenders, buyers, sellers, real estate agents, anything negotiating, anything like that, type it in the chat box. We still got Jamie for another 5 minutes or so. Get the most out of this. And Jamie, if anybody wants to get a hold of you too, like offline and things like that, they can email you. I got your email here. I'm going to put it up. And also, guys, so for those of you hopping on the first time, we've got a couple of repeat people. If you're watching this, Christy, my wife, and I, my name's Noah Harris. We're out of Columbia, South Carolina, and we teach with REI USA. We also host a monthly meetup in person. And every single month, it's the first Wednesday of the month. It's in Columbia, South Carolina. Y'all are more than welcome to hop in. It's a free meetup. I usually bring in expert panelists. And Jamie, you're actually going to be joining us in August.
Correct.
August 4th. We hold it at 6 p.m. here in Columbia. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. You can go to reup.com. And I got your, let me share the screen here. I got your info. I think I got your email here, Jamie. So if anyone wants to email you, they have a question or they want to schedule some time with you or something, is that cool?
Absolutely.
Okay, let me do that for. It's not letting me pull it up. All right, so what's your email, Jamie? Real quick, I'll type it in the chat box.
Jamie, Jamie, and then it's at, and it's kind of long-winded, but it's artofcommunication.com. Jamie at art of
conscious communication.
artofconsciouscommunication.com.
Okay. artofconsciouscommunication.com. Cool. Love it. And I'm going to put this in here too, guys. If you have any questions about our meetup in Columbia, South Carolina, because this is the South Carolina Supergroup, all things real estate, South Carolina. We try to not just talk about South Carolina stuff, but, there is some news, especially in Columbia. There's some things happening with Airbnbs and, local councilmen trying to figure out how to eliminate short-term rentals in the city of Columbia. So we have a group going where we're going to give our input, our feedback on how we can kind of come to a solution. So there is some very local things that we're doing here in Columbia and in the state of South Carolina for VRBO and Airbnb. If you want to be a part of that or learn more about that before you start going and buying Airbnbs and having things change and not understanding the rules, we talk a lot about that in this group too. If you have any questions about that, I can send you in the right place. But that's not it. It's reupmeetup.com. I can't talk and type at the same time. reupmeetup.com. You can find all the information about that there. Jamie, we're looking forward to having you August 4th.
I'm glad that the world has opened up, that I can actually be in places live. I've been doing a lot of virtual presentation to groups around the country. It's going to be I can't wait.
Awesome, man. And I'm sorry you missed Christy, guys. The Christy Duckett super fans, I'm so sorry. But
he's going to show the tattoo if it's not.
I was too. I think she's got home, but the kids are up. They're animals. You know what I mean? Like after 8 o'clock, it's like they turn into gremlins. So she's probably just handling business. But if you have any questions at all, email Jamie, guys. Or you can email me. I'll put my email in here too if you have any questions on anything. I'd love to connect with you on Facebook or anywhere else, Instagram. Noah@revivecolumbia.com. That's my email if you got any questions about all things real estate in South Carolina. Yeah, great seeing you, Deborah. Hope to see you in person sometime soon. But Jamie, thanks so much, man. You got anything else for us?
I feel like it was. I'm just glad that I got a boom from Deborah, who I'll take that as a win.
All right, and Deborah and Sabrina, I'm gonna give you some homework. Okay, I'm gonna give you some homework. Don't go anywhere. Here's what I want you to do. I said it. Okay, eliminate the words "I want" from your vocabulary. Okay, it's hard. See, I just busted myself doing it. Right. Eliminate the words "I want." Like, get a rubber band, put it on your wrist, and anytime you say "I want," just give yourself a little thwack, right? And start figuring out how to uh, ask better questions, right? I have eliminated try. All right, there you go. Eliminate. Yeah.
No, I don't know what, and it's a random lesson. It's just something, the power of just individual words changing. If you ever say, I have to do something, all right, like I have to make this call, and it's not something you're finding pleasant, all right, you don't want to make the call, I have to make this call. If you change the word I have to I get to make this call, all of a sudden you feel grateful, like you're above ground, like I get to do this, and it suddenly changes the psychology of doing it. I have to make 100 calls to get a buyer. You know what? I get to make this 100 calls, and it completely changed the dynamic of what you have to do that day. Just changing I have to I get. I know it's very simple. It's like in health world of nutrition, cheating's never been good. We never viewed cheating in life as a good thing, yet they call it cheat meals, cheat day. All right? But for the 6-pack abs, Noah, all right?
That's the secret.
If you say, hey, it's okay to indulge every now and again.
Sure.
All of a sudden you're like, yeah, sure. Is it okay to cheat ever? No.
Yeah.
Is it all right to indulge every once in a while? Yeah. All of a sudden, it's just a switch on just the wording. There you go.
I love it. So share with us the results, guys, ladies, in the Facebook group. How is it going with eliminating the words "I want"? Are you seeing results? Right. Start there, and then next week, once this gets uploaded to REI USA, we can go back and we can work on all the other stuff.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Jamie, man, thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for attending. It means a lot. Thank you so much. It's great spending some time with you guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Do I log off now? We're going to not talk afterwards, or should I just...
give me a chat. I'll give you a high five right now.
Okay. We'll catch up, Noah. Send Christy my best, man.
All right. Sounds good, man. Thanks.